In Hollywood and reality television, youth is currency. The younger you appear, the more valuable you are to networks, brands, and audiences who worship at the altar of eternal youth. So it's no surprise that some real housewives have been caught lying about their actual ages. Whether it's shaving off a few years, conveniently forgetting their birth year, or outright fabricating documents, these women have gone to extraordinary lengths to appear younger than they really are. But in the age of the internet where everything is searchable and fans are basically amateur detectives, lying about your age is a gamble that rarely pays off. Here are the real housewives who got caught lying about their ages and how the truth finally came out. The newest and most shocking age lie comes from Real Housewives of Potomac newcomer Tia Glover. During season 10, which premiered in 2025, Tia made a jaw-dropping confession that left her castmates absolutely stunned. She admitted on camera that she lied to her husband about her age for the first 2 years of their relationship. Not a small lie either. She shaved off several years to appear younger and more desirable. On the Real Housewives of Potomac after show in November 2025, Tia shared the full story of how she kept up the lie and what happened when she finally told the truth. He found himself a younger wife, who doesn't want that, Tia said, rationalizing why she lied in the first place. She wanted to be the younger woman, the trophy wife, so she simply changed her birth year when they first started dating. For 2 entire years, Tia maintained this fiction. She celebrated fake birthdays. She let her husband believe she was younger than she actually was, and somehow she kept all her documentation hidden or explained away. But eventually the truth came out, though Tia hasn't revealed exactly how her husband discovered her real age. What we do know is that he was understandably upset about being lied to for such a significant period of time. The foundation of their relationship was built on a deception. What makes Tia's situation particularly interesting is that she's not even that old. Born in 1993, Tia is only 32 years old as of February 2026. She's one of the younger housewives on Potomac. So, the fact that she felt the need to lie about her age at all speaks to the immense pressure women feel to be young, even when they're already in their early 30s. The lie wasn't about hiding being 50 or 60. It was about shaving off just a few years to seem even more youthful in a society that prizes women in their 20s above all else. Her castmates were shocked by the revelation. Some defended her, saying everyone lies a little bit when dating. Others questioned how you build a healthy marriage on such a fundamental lie. Either way, Tia's confession became one of the most talked about moments of Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10 and put the issue of age lying front and center. Ramona Singer has built an entire brand around looking younger than her actual age. Her skincare line is literally called Ageless by Ramona. Her taglines on Real Housewives of New York frequently reference aging. In one season, she said, "I'm like a fine wine, I just get better with time." In another, she declared, "Age is just a number, it's mind over matter. Mind if you don't mind, it doesn't matter." The whole Ramona persona is centered on defying age and looking fabulous at any number. But here's where things get murky. Ramona's official birth date, according to public records and most sources, is November 17th, 1956, which would make her 69 years old as of February 2026. However, there has been persistent speculation over the years that Ramona has lied about her age, or at minimum been deliberately vague about it. Some sources list her birth as November 18th, 1956, while IMDb had her listed as being born in 1956 for years, but some fan sites claimed she was born earlier. The confusion stems from several factors. First, Ramona genuinely does look younger than 69 years old. Whether through good genes, excellent skincare, plastic surgery, or a combination of all three, she's managed to maintain a youthful appearance that makes people question the official birth year. When fans see her on television looking vibrant and energetic, they assume she must be in her 50s, not pushing 70. Second, Ramona has been accused multiple times of heavily editing her social media photos to look decades younger. In April 2025, she posted a photo from a night out in Palm Beach that sparked immediate controversy. Fans called her out for what appeared to be extreme photo editing that made her look like she was in her 30s. One Instagram user wrote the fact that we don't have a camera on her while she's editing this masterpiece is upsetting. Ramona denied editing the photo herself, but didn't rule out that someone else may have edited it before it was posted. Third, Ramona's whole brand depends on people believing she's ageless. If she admits to being nearly 70, it undermines the marketing of her skincare line and her image as someone who's cracked the code on staying young. So, she has every incentive to keep people guessing and confused about her real age. The speculation itself generates buzz and conversation. What we can say definitively is that according to Wikipedia, famous birthdays, IMDb, and virtually every reliable source, Ramona Singer was born November 17, 1956, making her 69 years old. But the persistent rumors and speculation suggest that even if she hasn't outright lied about her birth year, she's certainly benefited from keeping things ambiguous enough that people wonder. Sonia Morgan's age has been a topic of discussion on Real Housewives of New York for years. What's interesting about Sonia is that she doesn't necessarily lie about her age outright, but she absolutely hates when it's brought up and has been accused of dodging the question when asked directly. According to public records, Sonia was born November 25, 1963, making her 62 years old as of February 2026, but you'd never know it from watching her on the show where she parties like someone in their 30s. During various RHONY seasons, castmates have joked about Sonia's age and her refusal to embrace it. She dated much younger men throughout her time on the show and always positioned herself as the fun, youthful one in the group, despite being one of the older housewives. Her lifestyle of staying out until dawn, drinking heavily, and maintaining a very active social life was aspirational to some and concerning to others who felt she was in denial about her actual age. The reason Sonia gets lumped into conversations about age lying isn't because she's falsified documents or given fake birth years. It's because she creates such cognitive dissonance between how she acts and how old she actually is. When you watch Sonia ripping off men's shirts with her teeth or doing the walk of shame at age 60, it forces viewers to confront societal expectations about how women of a certain age should behave. Sonia rejects those expectations entirely, which is either admirable or problematic depending on who you ask. Kim has faced persistent questions about her real age for over a decade. According to most sources, Kim was born on May 19, 1978, which would make her 47 years old as of February 2026. However, there have been long-standing rumors and speculation that she's actually older than that and may have lied about her birth year to appear younger when she first joined Real Housewives of Atlanta. The speculation reached a fever pitch during the early seasons of Don't Be Tardy when fans noticed inconsistencies in things Kim said about her past. If you do the math based on certain life events she's discussed, some claim the timeline doesn't add up with a 1978 birth year. Additionally, photos of Kim from the late 90s and early 2000s led some amateur sleuths to believe she looked older than she would have been according to the official birth year. Kim has never addressed these rumors directly, which has only fueled more speculation. If the 1978 birth year is accurate, then she had her first daughter Brielle when Kim was 19 years old. But some fans have theorized that Kim may have actually been in her mid-20s when Brielle was born, which would mean Kim is actually in her early 50s now, rather than her late 40s. The reason this matters to fans is that Kim has always positioned herself as younger than her RHOA castmates. When she joined the show in 2008, she played up being the fun, carefree single mom dating a much younger NFL player. If she was actually several years older than she claimed, it changes the dynamic of how viewers perceived her during those early seasons. It would mean she was potentially in her mid-30s, pretending to be in her late 20s or early 30s. Without concrete evidence like a birth certificate or official documentation confirming a different birth year, we have to go with what public records state. But the persistent speculation and Kim's refusal to address it directly keeps the rumor mill churning. Danielle Staub's age controversy is connected to her criminal past and the lengths she went to in order to hide it. Danielle was born Beverly Ann Merrill on July 29, 1962, making her 63 years old as of February 2026. But during the early seasons of Real Housewives of New Jersey, her age wasn't the only thing she was lying about. When Danielle's past was exposed by her castmates, it was revealed that she'd been arrested in 1986 and convicted of charges related to kidnapping, drug trafficking, and extortion. She spent time in prison and later entered witness protection. After being released, she changed her name from Beverly Merrill to Danielle Staub, moved to New Jersey, and tried to create a completely new identity. Part of that new identity involved obfuscating details about her past, including potentially her age. While there's no definitive proof that she lied about her birth year, the fact that she changed her entire identity and tried to hide her criminal past suggests she was willing to lie about anything to protect her new life. When someone goes that far to hide who they were, changing a birth year would be relatively easy. The book Cop Without a Badge, which detailed Danielle's criminal past and became a major storyline on RHONJ Season 1 and 2, described her as being in her early 20s during the 1986 arrests. If she was born in 1962, she would have been 24 years old in 1986, which aligns with the book's timeline. So, in Danielle's case, the official birth year seems accurate. But the fact that she lied about so much else made viewers question whether anything about her was truthful, including something as basic as age. Vicki Gunvalson was born March 27, 1962, making her 63 years old as of February 2026. As the self-proclaimed OG of the OC who starred on Real Housewives of Orange County from its premiere in 2006 through season 14 in 2019, Vicki aged on camera over 13 years. Viewers watched her go from her late 40s to her late 50s. But throughout that journey, Vicki was extremely sensitive about her age and how she was portrayed. During multiple seasons, Vicki feuded with younger cast members who she felt were trying to push her out because of her age. She was particularly defensive when Megan King Edmonds joined the cast in her early 30s and immediately clashed with the older established housewives. Vicki felt like production was trying to replace her with younger, hotter women who would appeal to a different demographic. The age issue came to a head during arguments where Vicki would lash out at implications that she was too old or out of touch. While she never lied about her specific birth year as far as we know, she absolutely resented the fact that being in her 50s and 60s made her less valuable to the show. She watched younger housewives get hired and promoted while she felt like she was being phased out despite being the foundation of the franchise. Vicki's situation highlights a painful reality for women in entertainment. No matter how much they've contributed or how popular they are, there's always pressure from networks to bring in younger faces. Vicki fought against that pressure for years. But eventually Bravo decided to demote her from main cast to friend and then remove her entirely. Her age, whether she lied about it or not, became a weapon used against her. One of the most entertaining age-related feuds on Real Housewives of New York happened between Ramona Singer and Luann de Lesseps. Luann was born May 17, 1965, making her 60 years old as of February 2026. She's younger than Ramona by nearly 9 years according to official records. But during various RHONY seasons, the two women would throw shade at each other about their ages and who was aging better. Ramona would imply that Luann was older than she claimed. Luann would hit back by suggesting that Ramona had work done to look younger. The back and forth created an interesting dynamic because both women were dealing with aging on camera, but handling it very differently. Ramona built a brand around anti-aging products. Luann embraced her age and sexuality simultaneously through her cabaret career. What made this age war particularly petty was that neither woman was actually lying about their ages, as far as anyone could prove. It was more about perception and who was winning the battle against time. Fans watching at home would argue in comments about which housewife looked better for her age. The whole thing became a bizarre competition where the prize was being perceived as younger or aging more gracefully than your co-star. Karen Huger, the Grand Dame of Potomac, was born May 3, 1963. I'm making her 62 years old as of February 2026. Karen has been remarkably open about her age compared to some other housewives. She owns being in her 60s and carries herself with the confidence of someone who's comfortable with where she is in life. But that doesn't mean she's been immune to age-related drama on Real Housewives of Potomac. Her younger castmates have occasionally thrown shade about Karen being old-fashioned or out of touch. Giselle Bryant in particular has made comments over the years suggesting that Karen's age makes her less relevant or that her way of thinking is outdated. Karen always claps back by emphasizing her experience, wisdom, and the respect that comes with age. She refuses to be shamed for being older than some of her castmates. What's interesting about Karen is that she represents a different approach to aging on reality television. Instead of lying about her age or trying desperately to appear younger, she leans into her status as an older, established woman. She uses her age as a source of power rather than seeing it as a liability. The Grand Dame title itself is about being a mature woman who commands respect. Giselle Bryant was born September 9, 1970, making her 55 years old as of February 2026. Like Karen, Giselle has been relatively transparent about her age. But where things get interesting is in how Giselle presents herself versus her actual age. She dates younger men. She dresses in trendy fashions. She acts and carries herself like someone in their 30s or 40s rather than mid-50s. During Real Housewives of Potomac, there have been multiple instances where Giselle's age comes up in conversations with castmates. The 30-year age gap between the youngest and oldest Potomac housewives creates interesting dynamics. Giselle falls closer to the older end of that spectrum, but refuses to act like it. She's been accused by some castmates of trying too hard to stay young or being in denial about her age. The Mauricio Umansky situation from season 10 highlighted this perfectly. Giselle admitted she was attracted to Mauricio and would have pursued him if not for girl code regarding Kyle Richards. But part of what made that storyline interesting was watching a 55-year-old woman talking about being attracted to a man in his 50s and her castmates treating it like scandalous behavior. If Giselle were 35 instead of 55, nobody would bat an eye. Her age made the flirtation noteworthy. From lying to husbands for years to building entire brands around being ageless, these housewives prove that age is the lie nobody can maintain forever. The internet never forgets, and public records don't lie. Subscribe for more Real Housewives deep dives exposing the truth behind the glamorous facades.